They want to do bad things, and you are the first line of defense. So again, I'll say, parents, wake up. If you do not know what your kids are doing on their cell phones, you better figure it out today. You could stop serious abuse. You could stop molestation. You could stop the solicitation of sexual imagery of little boys and little girls. You could save lives. Today we're here to announce the arrest of 29-year-old Justin Adkins of West Warwick, Rhode Island. Again, this is happening from other states, parents. People from other states are getting to your kids online and taking advantage of them. It can happen anywhere at any time. Justin Adkins is currently facing charges, 2 child molestation charges in Rhode Island, and here we have taken him down after he developed a relationship with a young girl, a minor, online. They met through the gaming app Fortnite. This is what the icon looks like if you're looking at a cell phone. Fortnite, a gaming application. From there, they moved to Snapchat. That's what the icon looks like if you're looking at a cell phone. We see this time and again. They moved to Snapchat because images and text communications can be erased rather quickly. It's a way to avoid law enforcement. This time it didn't work. We've got thousands and thousands of files associated with this criminal deviance Snapchat account, hundreds and hundreds of images of child sex abuse content, including many with this victim. After meeting and talking on Snapchat, he then sent Robux using the app Roblox to give this young girl, lavish goods. He sent her an iPhone because he wanted better content in the imagery. That's how sick this dude was. He purchased her things, sent her a digital currency through the app Roblox. Roblox, the state of Florida, has sued both civilly and criminally. Time and again, we see child abuse happening, and it originates through relationships on that application. These companies, they're making way too much money, and they're not doing enough to protect our kids. If you've got adults that are able to go on the application anonymously, pretend to be young kids, develop these relationships, send money to kids in exchange for things, and then start soliciting sexual imagery and more, it's wrong. This cannot happen. More security protections need to be put in place. So again, Snapchat and Roblox, parents, go home, look at the phones. If you see these apps, you need to be prepared. You need to look at the tools that are available to you to, review and monitor the content on your children's phones. You need to decide, do you even want the child to have this application in the first place? It's dangerous, but you got to wake up. This individual is going to spend a long time here in Florida. We got the #1 in-migration in Florida. We don't want it to be for these reasons, but we'll have him extradited here this week, and hopefully he'll spend the rest of his life in this state. We've got to keep these people off the roads, away from our little boys and girls. I want to thank the people that are here with me today. We've got Green Cove Springs Police Chief Sean Hines. They did a tremendous job in this case and many others. He and his whole team have been wonderful when it comes to rule of law and public safety. Here in Clay County, you've got a wonderful sheriff, too. We've got the best sheriffs in the country, and that's why Florida is reaching even further record low crimes. Commissioner Mark Glass from FDLE, we've been on the circuit lately. It's a good day if I'm starting it with him, because that means we're putting more bad guys away. And in Florida, we prosecute to the fullest. This case will be no different. If you break the law, we're going to come at you, we're going to throw the book at you, and we're going to make sure we keep you away from our Florida families for as long as possible. Emily Frazier from our statewide prosecution office is pointing the prosecution. It's clear that she's not going to be handing out any plea deals. Again, we're going to be prosecuting to the fullest, ensuring public safety is #1. Deviants, they think that the screen, the anonymity, will protect them. They think they can do whatever they want and that they're shielded by this technology and that they will get away with it. Not on our watch. We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to put bad guys away, and we're going to send a message to these bad guys. If you do this stuff to any Florida resident, we will come after you, and you will spend the rest corrections. Finally, again, to the parents at home, wake up. This is serious. If you don't know what's going on, you better figure it out. You are the first line of defense. You are the first law enforcement. We're going to be there fighting the good fight, but this is only a fraction of what's going on out there, and we need your help. So thank you again for being here. This is an important announcement. It's good to get these guys. We hate having to talk about it because it shows the sick reality of what's out there. But at the end of the day, we're going to stand firm on rule of law, and we're going to protect our kids at absolutely all costs. With that, I'll turn it over to Chief Hines on this side.
I have a quick prepared statement, but before getting into that, I'd just like to say on behalf of our acting city manager, Mr. Null, and our city council, all our guests, thank you very much for visiting our city today. All right, the Green Cove Springs Police Department wishes to sincerely thank our law enforcement partners, including the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, statewide prosecution, and the West Warwick Police Department in West Warwick, Rhode Island, for their cooperation and dedication during this investigation. This was a serious felony case involving sex crimes against a juvenile victim in our jurisdiction. Despite the complexity of the case and the fact that the adult male suspect resided in the state of Rhode Island, the investigators remained steadfast in pursuing justice. On February 2nd, 2026, a detective from the Green Cove Springs Police Department, along with an FDLE agent, traveled to the state of Rhode Island, furthered the joint investigation, and successfully apprehended the suspect. He is currently in custody and awaiting extradition to Clay County, Florida. The safety of our children and our community remains our highest priority. As Chief of Police for the city of Green Cove Springs, I want our residents to know that we take our responsibility to protect this community seriously. We will continue to work diligently and collaboratively to investigate crimes thoroughly, hold offenders accountable, and ensure that victims and their families receive justice and support. Now we'll turn it over to Commissioner Glass.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Good morning. I'm FDLE Commissioner Mark Glass. And just like the General said, we've been doing this a lot now lately. And part of this is more preventative. Us getting out here, doing this in front of you and different parts of the state, showing this is going on all over the state. And like the General talked about, parents, pay attention what they're doing. My kids growing up did Fortnite. They had Snapchat, but I was on their phone the whole time. I paid the bill. So there's no expectation of privacy in my house until you start paying your own bills. You should be the same. If you don't know what you can do to help or things to look for, you can go on FDLE's website of secureflorida.org and pay attention to that. We'll give you the tools, the things that can help you fight this, because we're dealing with a bunch of sickos, deviants, malcontents, whack jobs, whatever you want to call them. They shouldn't even be in our community. They should be behind bars, which thankfully the General, Green Cove Police Department, and also too the statewide prosecutor is going to be putting the hammer down on this person. So what we want to just kind of show to you guys is there's many ways to pay attention to this. If it's a family member, if it's a friend, you start seeing signs, I encourage all of you, even if you don't have children, go to secureflorida.org and start paying attention to different things you can see. Notify your local police department. Victims, if you're hearing this, we hear you. Give us a sign, give us some reason to let us help you. There's wraparound services to help you and your family out of this. There's no need to be feeling like someone's going to be intimidating you. We will take that from you. Do not worry about that, and we will protect you. We are very fortunate in this state, in the free state of Florida, that we have a governor and a strong attorney general who won't put up with this. And I've been enjoying being able to work side by side with him, his Office of Statewide Prosecution, also the chiefs and the sheriffs of this great state, putting these whack jobs in jail. Be followed by the pointy end of the spear, who also makes things happen, Ms. Emily. Thank you.
Good morning. I would just like to thank the Green Cove Springs Police Department, FDLE, the statewide prosecutor, and the Attorney General for their support This case really was a collaborative effort, and the hard work and dedication of all the people involved is how we were able to get to this point today. I would also like to thank the West Warwick Police Department and the West Warwick Attorney General's Office for their assistance in this case. We look forward to pursuing this case in court.
Thanks, Emily. It's prosecutors like Emily that have to go face these guys head on and put them away, present the case, go through the evidence. A lot of that can be very gruesome, deal with victims that have been through, some of the worst abuses. They do it because it's a calling. We're thankful in Florida. People have no idea how many wonderful people like Emily are working day in and day out to fight the good fight and protect our communities. I think as Commissioner Glass said, if there are victims out there, please come forward to us. I know it can be a scary situation. This case we're talking about today, once this criminal realized he might be losing control and wasn't getting the responsiveness he wanted from this victim, he started making very serious threats. And that causes a lot of people to continue going on, sending messages, engaging in behavior, filming it. People make threats, they extort, they threaten to make things public where the world can see. That's wrong. We're not going to stand for it. If you come forward, we will help you, and we will make sure that these sickos can never get anywhere close to you again. That's our commitment. I think that's it. We got time for a few questions. Yes, sir.
Shifting topics for just a second. This morning there was an ex post put out by you saying that the Office of Statewide Prosecution sent a criminal subpoena to the Deegan administration in Jacksonville. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, we have a situation here where a city official was out there, publicly alerting people to ICE locations, interfering with immigration enforcement efforts. This is the state of Florida. It's not Minnesota. We anticipated at special session last year, the governor, under his leadership, made clear we were going to put obligations in that law that passed where local officials, they do not have discretion. There's an obligation to use best efforts to facilitate, help the federal government carry out their law enforcement efforts. We're a rule of law state. We believe in that. We stand by that. And if there's evidence that, the city as a whole, I know the mayor said nothing wrong happened here, we disagree with that. So we're looking at it. If there's a coordinated effort for this city official to work with other city employees or outside NGOs to try to thwart our efforts to enforce the law, then we will hold these wrongdoers accountable. Yes, sir.
In terms of what criminal statute might be violated, are you looking at state law or are you looking at, I've heard the suggestion maybe RICO?
Yeah, if there's a coordinated effort amongst officials, I know there's NGOs out there that very clearly are working to, push forward these protests to try to thwart federal investigative efforts, then yes, we could be looking at RICO. There could be some federal angles. But first and foremost, again, we got a law in the books passed last February. Local officials have a duty to help the federal government carry out the law. There's also in Florida, we have anti-doxing laws. If you want to flag personal information, locations, details about law enforcement officers to try to harass them, scare them, threaten them, or impede law enforcement operations, that is a crime. We will not stand for that. We want these officials in our state. They enforce the law. We don't have issues in Florida. We don't have the chaos. We don't have the anarchy. We don't have the mayhem in the streets. We work together with federal law enforcement. It goes pretty dang well. So what we're doing in Florida works, and if city officials think they know better than the law, we're going to stand in their way. Yes, sir.
About the topic here, you guys mentioned that there's resources on the website to help try to prevent that with the children. For parents who are watching who are going, I don't even know where to start. What's that first step that you guys tell them to take?
First start is you got to get that cell phone in your hand. You got to get access. You got to get into it. If your kid has a passcode, if you've got a child with a phone, that's the first conversation really is, what age is it appropriate to have a phone? And maybe, maybe a flip phone or something without the internet is the better place to start. Again, that's a conversation for parents and kids. We did, under the leadership of Speaker Paul Renner, we passed a law where younger teenagers are not allowed to have access to some of these social media sites in Florida. And those companies have an obligation to have age verification and keep them off. Not all those companies are following it. We're going to be litigating this, and we're going to be holding people accountable. But parents, get that phone, get access to it. I'll hold up these apps again. You know, until I became Attorney General, I'd never heard of some of these. I've never had these apps myself, but Fortnite here, it's been around for a little while. It's a gaming app. But again, it's a place where a stranger, an adult in another state, can get access to your little girl. Roblox here in the middle, another one of these virtual reality games where people can pretend to be others. They can create whole universes, but they can be communicating with strangers. You got to be aware of this. Snapchat on the far side over here is one you probably heard of. People send pictures and texts and they disappear. That's why perverts prefer that application over a lot of others. But our technology is good. Law enforcement's getting ahead of the curve. We're going to catch them when they try to use this app to exploit little kids. So look at these. You got to decide if you want your kids to have access, but if they're going to, you need to look at the tools and resources that are available out there to monitor everything that's happening through these applications.
Are you guys able to share the age of the victim, or is that?
At this point, we can't. It's an open case. Can't provide that information. I just can say it's a minor girl.
Are you able to say, you know, what kind of got law enforcement involved in this? Was this the parents coming forward, or?
I can't quite at this point, again, the pending details on an open case. But again, we know beyond a reasonable doubt that this individual in Rhode Island was soliciting information, had developed a relationship, asking for a lot of sexual imagery, a lot of back and forth content with a little girl. All right, thanks everybody.